All right. Good morning and welcome to today's continuing education. There are some things that were brought to my attention over the weekend, and I really want to speak from the heart today. Normally, continuing education is all about doTERRA products because that's dear to my heart, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my essential oils. And this is something that I talk about all the time, is where was I before I knew about essential oils? So thank you for joining me today. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching, and pat the person on the back or just give them a big hug and thank them for sharing this video with you. So my continuing education is every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it's kind of early for some people, but it's a little later for others. And so today, my topic, I wanted to be more instrumental in the heart. What is your heart all about? What is doTERRA really all about, other than providing us with a phenomenal product and service to the world globally, service to everybody? What does that mean? And really, what is that all about? Well, I look back at since I started with doTERRA, I look back and I think about all the people that I've met along the way. Some people are so super grateful for me in bringing things into their life that they literally have said to me that if it weren't for you, I'd probably be dead. Or at least I know I wouldn't be near as healthy as I am today. And at first, I really had a hard time accepting that because it wasn't me. It's the product, right? It is totally the product. So how could I receive that? Well, I finally did. And I realized that, yes, I do need to receive those blessings because I was able to bless somebody else's life. And so I want to talk to you more about how can you bless somebody's life. It doesn't mean that you're out there just going Joe Blow, going to every place on the sun, and you're like scouring through the countryside looking for people. It isn't that, because people will come into your life. What are and who are those people? What are their problems? So let's look at doTERRA a little bit first. So doTERRA was founded in 2008. It was a company founded by a group of professional people that did have and do have a background in essential oils, but realized that there was a problem. The problem was that there was too much adulteration in the essential oil world. And people really weren't getting what they were really paying for. And they didn't know this. The education behind it was part of that. And so they founded this company of doTERRA, knowing that their mission was to provide a quality essential oil that not only would help us in our health, but it's something that they could create an abundance for health and wealth globally. Globally. That's incredible, because a lot of companies out there don't look at that. The bottom line that they're looking at is how much money can I put in my pocket, right? Pharmaceutical world is that way. Not to get into a whole different subject, but it's true. It's what amount of money can I put in my pocket? So if you go look at over-the-counter medications even, how many medications are there for seasonal relief? Allergies. Lots, right? Well, look at the ingredients on the package of every single product, and how many of those products are made by the same company, but they have a different name. Have you ever thought about that? Probably not. So I challenge you to go look at that. They all have basically the same thing, but there's something that's critiqued, something just a little bit different, so they can have a different name on it. So what do? If you have that problem, you buy one, not knowing which one will help you. Well, this one makes you sleepy, or can you afford to do that at work? So you try the next one. What does that one do for you? Does it do any relief for you or not? Does it make you hyper or does it make you sleepy? So then what do? Next time around, you try a different one, right? That's kind of the same thing that goes on with us in essential oils. We have thousands of remedies if you're willing to do that. So when we look at the doTERRA company itself and what they believe in, we are creating, we meaning I am too, I'm part of the company, get to create emotional well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being, and spiritually. Have you ever thought about that? Spiritually, what does that mean? Look at biblically speaking. Biblically speaking is that, look at all the religions that use frankincense. What do the Jews use? Of course, they use a lot of herbs, but we're using essential oils. What other religions are using their essential oils? What and how many times are essential oils referenced in the Bible? We've had essential oils since day one. Problem is that we used all these until about the 60s, or really right after the war, World War II. That's when things started changing. That's when pharmaceuticals started to kind of change over. Advancements in medicine were like rampant, right? There was constant new studies, new ideas, oh look, this can do the same thing. So they realized what they could do, right? And what happened along the way, all of us forgot to use the basics. We needed to learn to get back to the basics. Getting back to the basics of what can I do in my everyday daily life? And can I use that in catastrophic illness? Absolutely. We weren't put on this earth with nothing. And yes, I'm not anti-medicine or anti-doctor. We want to mesh these two worlds together. There are cures for things. The problem is that most of us go to the doctor with symptoms and the doctor says, okay, you need this, because they're only treating the symptom. They're not treating the root cause, unless you go to the root cause. So that's something that's super important to me, is you be your own advocate. You know your body best. They don't. You have choices. What are those choices? What is the meaning of doTERRA? doTERRA means gift of the earth, because it is a gift of the earth. It's God's gift to us for the things that we need daily, every single day in our daily lives, whether it's the herb or the essential oil. Essential oils are just up to 70 times more powerful than an herb. They're highly concentrated. One drop goes a long, long way. Now I'm speaking about doTERRA. I'm not speaking about over-the-counter essential oils, because a lot of those are adulterated. The majority of those you find on a shelf somewhere are adulterated. Just telling you this. So if they're adulterated, what is in there? It does not need to tell you that. FDA does not regulate that at all. So they can put whatever they want in there, and they can only have a little bit of the true essential oil in there and still call it 100% pure. That's wrong. Totally wrong. So I want to help you understand is there are choices in our lifestyle. There are choices in our life for what we do. If I have a headache, I know what I can reach for. If I have a fever, I know what I can reach for. And you know, there's times when someone tells me, well, actually, there's many times when someone says, well, it didn't work for me. That's okay. Are you willing to try something else? Just like over-the-counter allergy medicine. If it doesn't work for you, you're going to go try the next one, right? So give essential oils a try. But the other part of that is, who are you blessing? What's your mission? If you already have a doTERRA account, and I'm not asking you to go out there and do the business. It's not about the business. It's not about the money. How can you bless somebody's life today because they need you? Who is going to walk into your life that has a problem, and it could be an emotional problem, it could be a financial problem, because yeah, we could make money. Me, as an entrepreneur, I want to make money, right? Because the more money I make, the more people I get to bless, correct? It's not a bad thing to earn money. We're supposed to, especially in today's world. We need to do what is good for us and our neighbor. If you had a neighbor that was sick and needed some help, would you help them? Well, of course you would. So why are we not? Why are we not learning more about what choices we have for our health and emotional well-being and our spiritual well-being? So Friday, I got to listen to more messages. I was at an event for a Seventh-day Adventist, and it was all about health, know your numbers. I've done this before in Seattle, and totally different people. But what I really liked was listening to a pastor who talked about emotional health and talking about those people that are labeled, meaning that the people that can come out of our prison systems or predators, anything like that. Why did they get there in the first place? Are we able to help them? Now, that's not for everybody. Totally not for everybody. But emotional health is something that we never really look at. We have something that does work. doTERRA is so inspired and inspiring to help globally that there are things that they've done that no other company has actually done. When you get tribes in Africa together to come together as a community, or in other areas where you get co-ops going, who does that? doTERRA does. And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. What are you doing in your community? How are you helping in your community? How are you getting people together in your community? Let's be strong about that. I even need to be more up on that and helping my community. Now, I'm in a rural area, so it's kind of harder. My neighbor is 5 acres away. But if you're in the city, how close are your neighbors? Who could you work with that can create more value in your community? And it doesn't have to be about essential oils. It has to be about helping your neighbor. But doTERRA has a vision. That vision is super far out there, and I give them credit for actually being able to think that far beyond. They are already just about ready to open the first one, and they have a hospital that will be integrative medicine. East meets West. You have doctors that are totally on board with the option of essential oils. I think that's amazing, don't you? Oh, come on. We should celebrate that, right? That's just the first one. This is the beginning. Their mission is to go globally like that. I think if you really want to be a part of something big, choose doTERRA, because doTERRA is big. They're the largest essential oil company in the world by volume. And they did that in less than 5 years. That's huge. There's almost 8 million people of us advocates, 8 million, that are using products like this. doTERRA is very good at the community, but they also partner. They partner with what makes sense. Operation Underground Railroad. Have you heard of them before? Look them up. If you want to help in getting kids, and I don't mean just teenagers and young adults, I mean kids that could be as young as 4. I know that just breaks my heart to know that there are people that truly, I can't even think about that. But Operation Underground Railroad is all about getting kids, people out of the sex trafficking trade. It's huge. And it's not only in other countries, it's right here on our own soil. Who do you know? How have you looked up how many predators you have in your neighborhood? Did you know you could do that? They have to register. A sex offender has to register. Know who they are. Can you help them? Not just know who, but not just know, but it's another thing too is, why are they like that? God didn't make them that way. Why did they get that way? Change their mind, change their brain. But if you want to help with OUR, Operation Underground Railroad, hope. We give hope around the world. This bottle of oil, when you purchase it, all the proceeds go to Operation Underground Railroad. And if you have not seen the things that they do, go to YouTube and watch a lot of their stuff, okay? This is important. This is so important. It's like, how many 5, 6, 7-year-olds that you know? Maybe you have one at home. Can you imagine someone taking them and using them for something that's not supposed to happen? Come on. And this is not just females. This is males too. Boys and girls. So think about that. Another one that we partner with, or their partnership is Healing Hands Foundation. Have you ever looked into that? And if you're already a member of doTERRA, then why not check the little box and donate $1 every time you order? That $1 goes to the Healing Hands Foundation. You get to help. You get to help raise money. If 8 million people of us would check the box for that $1, what impact could we have around the globe? Something to think about, right? Now, of course, 8 million people are not ordering every single day. But if you are ordering every month, check the box. What's $1 going to do for you? A whole lot. A whole lot, okay? And go look at what they're doing. Healing Hands Foundation, okay? And then they partner with Days for Girls. Have you ever heard of that? Days for Girls. What is that? Globally, some people that said, hey, we need to do something about these girls and young ladies in third world countries that do not really know what their menstrual cycle is all about. And they're shunned. They're locked up in a room sitting on cardboard, or they're in a cave somewhere. I mean, they are shunned. And I think that's horrible. What do we do about that? doTERRA. Days for Girls came to the rescue, and doTERRA helped out. When they found out about this, they donated $250,000 to them. but they went beyond that. doTERRA is actually in the Guinness Book of World Record. And the reason why is because what happens with Days for Girls is they put together these very vibrant colored backpacks, and they make pads that are washable, show them how to use it, and they also educate them on the body and why they have a menstrual cycle. That is a beautiful thing. God gave it to them for a reason, gave it to us for a reason, so that we could multiply the earth, right? So when the curator for Guinness Book of World Records, and they had given doTERRA 1 hour to see how many kits they could make. Well, they made 5,000 kits, the whole thing, in less than 40 minutes. Now, what's significant about that? 40 minutes, 5,000 kits. That's where all of us got to participate in that, either by helping supply or money towards the components for it, or we actually got to cut and sew and put things together. Everybody was there. Unfortunately, I was there too late. 40 minutes. The first time ever, and his name escapes me right now, but he actually cried on stage at convention, because this happened during a convention a couple of years ago. And he cried. It's the first time ever that he's ever witnessed something that made sense. And it was for someone else, not for your own benefit. Who cares about how many water guns fights or biggest water gun fight, or how many bouncy balls you have, or whatever? Who cares? This was meant for something, and it really was something. Oh, I really think that's a wonderful thing. It's not blessing me, it's blessing somebody else. So that's what this is all about, is blessing somebody else. So, frankincense, 188 times in the Bible. And something that you might not think about. We're here to make people comfortable. If we can improve someone's health, hallelujah, right? But something that I got to do, and if you're biblical, I'll try not to cry, okay? So, when my father passed away, and I felt like there was something I could do, and it's like, what could I do? There was nothing. We're all there waiting for the last breath, right? I'm trying not to cry. And I thought to myself, you know what? There is something I can do. Totally. And so I got my oils out. What did I get out? Hope. Why did I get hope out? Because it is hope. Because I got to rub his feet before he passed with hope oil. Now I had one daughter who says, "Oh, did you get your oils out?" I'm like, "Yes, I did. This isn't about you. It's about him." And I know he enjoyed his feet being rubbed with essential oils, because prior to his death, I actually went over there quite often because he was bedbound, and he had broken his back about a year prior. So we were over there a lot, and I would go over there and do aroma touch technique on his feet at least every other day. He looked forward to that, and I know he did, because if I didn't come over, I got a phone call from my mother asking if I was coming over because somebody was requesting it. So it's not just about me, and it's not just about an oil. Okay, I'm trying not to cry. It's about the blessing and the hope that we give to people, and the comfort that we give to people. because it was very comforting to me to know that I could do something that nobody else got to do. And it's like, because nobody else knew. They knew, but they weren't willing to do that. But I was willing to do that. So when you think about the opportunities that we have opportunities right in front of our face every single day. Whether you have an oil with you or you don't have, what is that blessing that you can do for someone else? How can you bless their lives? How can you help them? Whether that's just a hug or whether that's anointing someone's feet with an essential oil or someone's hand. How many people, how many older people do we have out there that are forgotten? It happens a lot. So many times are people forgotten. It's like a dog. They're treated like dogs, where they just, here you go, we're not going to do anything more to them. And the kids never ever show up again. That's sad, because they were with you. They wiped your bottom as a baby, and you're going to just go and take them and drop them off. Now, that's not necessarily you. It's not me. There's a lot of them out there that do that. So think about them and think about those people. I feel sorry for the ones that dropped off their parents and said, see you later, and never come back. That's sad. So think about all the opportunities you have for you, for those of you that are members with doTERRA. You don't have to order every month. Just know that when you do order, you get to help in more than one way. When you purchase essential oils, that helps someone somewhere. That helps a community somewhere. When you check the box, that's another way. Whether it's $1, $5, $20, it doesn't matter. What can you afford to do? There's another way of giving back. Giving back. And give back to what God gave us. And for those of you that don't have an account with doTERRA, talk to the person that shared this video with you and find out how these could change your life too. And every day, what could you do on a daily basis to help you and your family's health every day? Whether that's just diffusing, whether that's building the immune system, help repair the respiratory system, help repair the body in general, or just, hey, I've got a cold coming on. What can you do that's simple? Simple solutions that are highly effective and cost effective. And one can do many things. One oil, essential oil, can do many things. So it's not a right or wrong of what oil to put on, it's using it. Just simply using it. So you guys have a really wonderful, blessed day. Thank you for letting me share my heart and my tears. Who are you blessing in your life? What can you do for comforting those around you? Whether that's once a month, once a day, just be prepared. Who can I help today? Ask God, who can I help today? And He'll give you an answer. He truly will. So you guys have a very blessed day, and thank you for joining me. And I will see you next week at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you.